Hello folks, and welcome back to True Crime Phenomenon. This is Josh coming back with another video. It's been an interesting ride here getting monetized. Some of the videos for kind of no rhyme or reason get demonetized, some are monetized. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, so I'm hoping this one can stay monetized, but we'll see. Anyhow, to start off, we're just going to get into a little bit of a historical overview for some context into Jeremy Dewitte and his background. Jeremy Dewitte is a serial police impersonator. He's currently in prison for multiple felonies. He's got over 10 counts of impersonating a law enforcement officer, 3 counts of reckless driving, 1 count of interception of oral communication, and 1 count of failure to register, according to his plea agreement, which I showed on a previous video. Now, his first impersonating arrest in 1998 was while he was in the Police Explorers program, and he stole $14 of gas, stating, "Hey, I'll come back with my company card to pay for it." And they assumed so because he showed a Police Explorers badge, and they believed that he was actually a sworn officer. Now, Jeremy eventually started his own funeral escort company called Metro State. Metro State was under investigation by the Orange County Sheriff's Office, led by Sergeant Vidler and Corporal Ramsey. To combat the investigation, Jeremy would send his employees into the Professional Standards Division, or Internal Affairs, to make complaints against Vidler and Ramsey. When this didn't work, Jeremy recruited local attorney Michael Breen by arming him with edited videos to show Internal Affairs. He was interviewed by Sergeant Mitchell and Sergeant Vasquez regarding the allegations stemming from the video, and these are 2 sergeants within the Professional Standards Division. Sergeant Mitchell alleges that Michael Breen was going into business with Jeremy Dewitte. Now, this is important because Michael Breen is personal friends with the Orange County Sheriff John Mina. Now, this eventually led to Sergeant Vidler getting fired and Corporal Ramsey going on unpaid leave suspension. This video is an interview between Sergeant Justin Wall of the Professional Standards Division and Deputy David Brooker of the Orange County Sheriff's Office on April 28, 2021 at 3:09 p.m. And Deputy David Brooker was the backup deputy during the March 23, 2021 arrest of Jeremy Dewitte on I-4. Him, along with Jared Alexander, was the second backup officer, which I'll be releasing his interview here shortly after this one, most likely the next day following this one, okay? Now, Deputy Brooker is new to the area, so he doesn't know a whole lot about Jeremy Dewitte. He says when he arrived on scene, Choke was already gone. He assisted in the pat-down, and Deputy Alexander transported Jeremy Dewitte. I'll let him get a little bit more into detail about what actually happens, what he witnesses, what he knows. Please let me know what you think down in the comments. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all.
I'm Sergeant Justin Wall of the Orange County Sheriff's Office Professional Standards Section. Today's date is April 28th, 2021, and the current time is 3:09 p.m. This interview is being conducted at the Office of Professional Standards located at 2500 West Colonial Drive. I'm interviewing. Can you just state your rank and your name for me?
Deputy David Brooker, Orange County Sheriff's Office.
And where are you currently assigned?
UPD Sector 1.
Alright, Deputy Brooker, are you aware that I'm recording this interview?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone threatened, coerced, or offered you any preferential treatment to give this statement?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol that may impair your testimony?
No, sir.
Alright, please raise your right hand so I may swear you in. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you are to provide will be true and correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright, so as we briefly discussed, you were a backup deputy for a traffic stop that occurred on March 23rd, 2021, up on I-4, where Sergeant Vidler and Deputy Reeves of the motor unit had stopped a car. Do you recall that incident?
I believe it was that date, but yes, sir, I did back them up on a traffic stop.
Okay. Up on I-4 like Princeton, I think.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just kind of walk me through how you became involved with that.
The traffic units had asked for another unit. I was working Zone 14 that day, so that was in my zone. Jared Alexander was a 13 car that day, and he also jumped on to back the traffic units. They wasn't sure at that time whether they just needed traffic control or if they needed somebody transported at that point. So I went ahead and went just to make sure that everybody was safe. A lot of traffic going eastbound on I-4 at that time. So I jumped on, I think either Fairbanks or Princeton. I don't remember which one I went down to. I think it was Fairbanks, and then came back eastbound on I-4 and to help.
Okay. And what was your impression of what was going on when you were responding?
When I got there, they had a subject which I'm new to the area, so I don't really know who this gentleman was, sitting in front of their motorcycles and cars on the side of the interstate. I came up and I blocked traffic in that lane so that we had the entire right outside lane blocked, so we weren't dealing with the same amount of traffic that they had.
Okay. And was Deputy Alexander already there when you got there?
We arrived at the same time. He was actually, I think, either right in front of me or right behind me, and I made contact. He was trying to explain who this guy was. Like I said, new to the area, I don't know who this guy is, but he had on a reflective type traffic iridescent shirt and some riding boots, and had a motorcycle there with Metro State.
Okay. And was there 2 motorcycles there, or just the one?
When I got there, there's just the one.
Just the one?
Yeah.
And so you were, you just saw the one individual. Do you know who he is now?
A little bit. I actually looked it up because I saw the news article. Somebody sent it to me, so I was like, "Oh, okay, I get who he is." But
okay,
before that, no, I
so
didn't.
it's Mr. Jeremy Dewitte. Mm-hmm. You know that now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so, what was your role? What did you do?
I was there to I don't remember which one of the traffic guys went to hand me stuff and started telling me what was going on. I said that Deputy Alexander was planning on transporting, so to give him his belongings and stuff. They got the gentleman up, Mr. DeWitt, and we walked him back to Deputy Alexander's car, and I assisted in his pat down for weapons or whatever before we got him in the back of his vehicle. Other than that, I got an envelope for his stuff and left that with Deputy Alexander, and then there was some type of weapon. I didn't inspect anything closely. It looked kind of like a Walther, but they were also saying something about it being like a Pepper's like ball shooter gun or something. I don't have any familiarity with those, so I don't really know what that was. But they were sitting there, and I got them a gun box for that.
Okay, so you had a gun box.
Yes, sir.
And you brought him a gun box for. Did it look like a firearm?
It did, sir.
But they told you it was a pepper ball gun.
Yes, sir. But I didn't handle it or anything.
Like,
It was
who told you that? It was one of the
traffic guys.
Okay.
I don't remember which one. It was the one sitting in the car, and he had it stuck up on his dash.
Okay.
When I got there.
So you saw it when you saw it. It was outside of the holster.
Correct.
Did you see a holster on the gun belt?
No,
on
sir.
Mr. DeWitt's gun belt?
Pretty sure that was already off of him before I got there, but I don't remember exactly.
All right, and so they told you it's a pepper ball gun, and did you package it?
No, sir. Just I just folded the cardboard box and handed it to him. I don't remember having any interaction with the firearm.
Okay, so you just primarily assisted with whatever needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any other involvement?
I went when everybody else left. I went and sat in my car and waited for the tow truck to get there. But I didn't handle any of the paperwork or anything for the tow for the motorcycle. Tow truck got there, and the traffic guy handed him the tow sheet, and then they all left to, I believe, come here to ops for an interview. So I just sat there on the side of the road while the car store loaded the motorcycle.
Okay. Had Deputy Alexander left at that point, or did you all stay until the tow truck got there?
I don't remember that.
Okay. All right. So at that point, were you aware of what Mr. DeWitt's charges were?
I didn't know the full extent of it. There was something alluded to him having a gun, but I don't know what the actual PC for the stop was.
Okay. Was there any discussion that you recall about what the charges were, or did you inquire?
I did not inquire. I know that Mr. DeWitt was saying something about it wasn't concealed, and there was something alluded about carrying concealed, but there again, everything had already been removed. The gun was in the car, so I don't know if that was even the PC for the stop or if that was an additional charge or really anything beyond that.
Okay. Did you have any charges on Mr. Dewitte?
Negative.
Did you complete any supplemental report
No, sir.
for this? Okay.
No, sir.
All right. Is there anything else that you know about this investigation that you would like to add?
No, sir.
Just to be clear, were you present at the Sector 4 substation when they did the transport?
No, sir. I stayed up on the interstate and took a 10-8 from there.
Okay.
Once the motorcycle was loaded. I was just there to really assist with traffic. And
Did you have any other involvement after that?
no, sir.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you know about this investigation you'd like to add?
No, sir. I didn't even really find out anything else more until later that evening. Somebody sent me a news article saying, "Hey, looks like you made the news." So I was like, "Oh, I didn't." But no, sir. Nothing with the investigation. That was my only involvement.
All right. And you said you didn't know at that point who Mr. Dewitte was. Do you know anything about the history with Mr. Dewitte, or at that point did you know anything about it?
I didn't. No, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing that was added, I think later, the guys told me that he had impersonated officers and done some other things along that line, and that he had a history with the agency. But I was like, okay, well, he doesn't have a history with me, so I don't really know.
And you learned all that after?
Yes, sir.
the
I
incident?
didn't
Okay.
know anything about it.
All right. The current time is 3:17 p.m. and that concludes the interview.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for this one. I suppose it's another swing and another strike. I'm not really understanding what the evidence was to use to terminate and suspend the two officers. I'm still a little dumbfounded, but you let me know what you think down in the comments below. Hopefully, Bidler and Ramsey can get some justice for what they've experienced. It's really unfortunate, and hopefully the tide turns. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.